Hey there, StarCraft fans! It's Falcon Paladin coming at ya with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered, but a very special one, an Xmas special here for you. It's Flash, and it's Bisu, and it's a best of 3 from RJB. Happy Christmas, everybody who celebrates, and if you don't celebrate Christmas, it's a good day anyway, because it's a best of 3 featuring Flash and Bisu. So top right, it's gonna be our blue Protoss. It's Bisu. I said top again, didn't I? This is bottom right, and this is top right. Flash. The reason is because my brain's like, well, if the gas is at the top, then the top of the map is here. No, that's just how they do it. The gas is at the top on this map. It's cool. Everything's fine. This is a map that Terrans really like, and Protoss and Zerg are not big fans of playing against Terran on this map. So we will see if that gives Flash the advantage he needs to come out on top here against his longtime arch nemesis, Bisu. Man, this is going to be good. I don't know. Is there another Protoss in the world that makes Flash work harder for his wins? I mean, Flash doesn't win every TVP he ever plays, but I just mean more consistently. Bisu does stuff with the Protoss race that makes Flash look normal and mortal a lot. So, curious to see what that's going to be all about here today. Game 1 is here on Circuit Breakers. Like I said, we got, okay, gas, yep. Can't really honestly get away with not going gas. Okay, look, you can get a Nexus first down if you don't get scouted at all, okay? That's a lot to ask, though. And we got a bit of, I don't know, do we want to call this a proxy barracks? If it's here normally, and it's here now, but it's still within the natural, I'm going to say no. I'm going to say that is not a proxy. It's just kind of an attempt to wall off early, I guess. Or maybe just get some aggression out, right? Maybe there's a second Rex coming. I was going to say no gas, but then gas started. As soon as I was about to say that. That's funny. So, all right. It's all good. All good in the hood here. Yeah, look at this. It's kind of like walling off scouting, I guess. I don't know. This probe got in here anyway. I don't know if that was a failed attempt to prevent the scout, but hey, look, gas. I mean, you don't have to get gas in a TVP. You can just very casually skip gas, right? Get a couple Marines out, build a bunker, expand, and then the Protoss is like, ah, crap. I'm behind economically, and I have to show up with the Dragoons, and the bunker gets attacked, and then SCVs have to get pulled off, and that negates some of the economic advantage, and it's a song and dance that we've been seeing for eons now. In dog years, it's like 100 years, right? So, yeah. Probe Scout, we'd really like to see the timing on this factory, but not going to, as it gets sniped, and factory gets started immediately upon death of the probe. Makes a lot of sense. SCV looking for Protoss, not really finding it. Trying to hide some tech over here. Have to imagine that's what that is. But first Dragoon pops out. Dragoon ready to go. Blum, 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 blum. Yeah, I think it was a good choice not to give units moving speed sounds. It'd be a lot. It'd be a lot of moving speed sounds in big battles. Like, attack sounds are good enough. And I don't know, maybe they didn't, like, have the time to design movement speed sounds for everything. Maybe they were working on that. They ran out of time. They're like, we gotta ship this game now. Like, well, it'll be good enough. And then it's like the greatest game of all time. Way to go, guys! Hats off to you. So, Protoss expansion, Terran expansion, already on the way. Protoss expansion, thinking about it, and there we go. So, Terran, a bit of an advantage here with the money. It's fine. We're only at 4 minutes. If you have an advantage on income at like the 20-minute mark, as a Terran against a Protoss, you're feeling all right. You're feeling just fine. Ah, that bunker completed. Woohoo! Just in the nick of time. But guess what else is happening here? There's a factory, and it's doing nothing. It's not building any vultures. It's not researching siege mode. There you go. Finally starting a tank. And behold, the beautiful sound of Dragoons firing on a bunker. relaxing, isn't it? All right, what are you doing now? Ah, robotics facility. I mean, look, 99.9% of the time at this stage in the game, the Protoss is going to make a robotics facility because, lol, you want obs in case there's spider mines, and if spider mines show up and you don't have an obs, you just die. So, spider mines, yes, but also potentially reaver drops. Ooh, tank tried to avoid taking a direct hit there by hiding under the barracks. Didn't really work for him. Look at the repair! Ah, look at him repairing. This might be my thumbnail, just because a repair is happening, honestly. Snipe! No, he didn't off-target the tank, though. Alright, 2 tanks. No, he lost 2 Dragoons and didn't kill the tank. That hurts. That really hurts a lot. Hey, look, an observatory. An academy, because detection is important. Could be DTs coming at any moment, and I don't have an engineering bay. Because why would you make an engineering bay? You're meching. Well, for turrets, mostly. Mostly, sir, for turrets. Please, sir, can I have some more turrets? Wait, that's not Christmas Carol. That's Oliver Twist. My brain was like, that's a relatively Christmas thing. No, it's not, brain. I don't know if any of Oliver Twist happens over Christmas. I have not read it nor seen the film. Third base coming in from Flash. 400 APM, maintaining 360 or so here from Flash. Bisu's APM is actually higher, which is weird. Protoss APM not generally higher than Terran APM. Okay, finally, a tank died. Range is good, man. See a dance? We're gonna see a dance in here. Tanks, Marines versus Dragoons doing a delicate waltz. It is. It's a delicate waltz. Siege mode's coming in, but it is not done yet. Not even close. So, alright. Pulling back into the natural, waiting for more tank friends. The game of reducing the tank count not going particularly well. Oh, I said it, but that tank's dead. Huh. For 1 Dragoon. Sacrificing Dragoons for tanks. Tale as old as time. Song as old as rhyme. Sacrificing Dragoons for tanks. More gateways coming in. That's a Scanner-Rooney. And he sees a Forge and a Citadel and more gateways. And he sees the 3rd base too. Good scans. Good scans by Flash. And siege mode is done. And siege is going to happen. At least for one of these guys, right? Like, all 3 of them. All right. So we need more Dragoons and maybe some Zealots to get in there now. Just kind of hang out. Got an observer checking to see. Oh, that's good. It's good scout. Sees the starport and sees the command center. Good observing. Well done, little observer. You have done Bisu well. There's got to be a Templar Archives. Nope, Stargate. And Templar Archives. Okay, so we're going fairly fast, Arbiter. There's a 3rd base up. This is sub 10 minutes, so, you know, you don't have to get Arbiters fast. You can wait until later. But every once in a while, we do cast a game where the Protoss is like, what's up? Sub 10 minute Arbiter, let's rock. 4th base coming up down south. That expanding Flash is a necessity. Unless you just want to go for some crazy 1 base, 2 base all in to try to kill him. Which might have a better success rate, to be honest, than trying to out-expand him over a macro game and still win. Just a thought. So Starport Control Tower, Ye Old Science Facility. And I don't know if you can land over here. You're going to have to start repositioning some of these tanks to make that 3rd base happen, except that Bisu's kind of going home. Which I don't know that I agree with. Scans here. Scans here. Nice pylon wall preventing vulture access. And 3rd base gets up. Why did he pull his whole army home? I mean, I don't know that he wanted to deal with 5 siege tanks and a Goliath defending. But, like, you could poke in here, snipe a tank, maybe even, like, get a run by. Instead, the tanks are... Or the Dragoons are home. Spider mines on the way. Arbiter Tribunal coming up. More scans happening. It's like, aha, the Arbiter tech trifecta. Well, just the 1 fecta. He has an Arbiter Tribunal. That's all you need to know. Shuttle on the way. Dragoons just perfectly positioned against this vulture stuff. With an observer, too, so spider mines get nothing done. absolutely no value to those spider mines, which is hard. It is hard to have no value on your spider mines. 12 o'clock base for Flash. He's like, you know what? I know you're trying to out-expand me, so I'm going to out-expand you, friend. Friendo Bobendo. But yeah, this is an RJB replay and series. So check him out. YouTube.com/@RJB_TV. Give him a subscription. It's free. Leave a comment saying Falcon sent ya. He'll appreciate it. Honestly, I say it a lot, but this channel would be about 40% worse. Maybe even closer to 60% worse if RJB just didn't exist. He just has contacts from Korean players, gets tons of replays from them all the time. And it just, the quality of the replays have gone up on my channel. I don't know that my view numbers have necessarily gone up, but I tell you, the quality of the replays I'm casting are better on average than they were when I, started casting, or even just 3 or 4 years ago. Because I started casting this thing in 2016, which is, it's a hot minute. It's what it is. There are some zealots in here, but I don't know, Vulture's shutting it down. Just kind of casually. You don't have any Goliaths. What are you going to do about it? Flash scanning here to see if there's any army to deal with, but it was over here the whole time. Surprise! Building some turrets would be good. Another expansion from Bisu. Maybe setting up for another one here, too. He's like, look, Flash, he's defending. He's turtling. He's getting 4 bases up pretty quick. A lot of Terrans will get onto 3 bases and be like, I am God. I am invincible. But no, they are not. 3 bases good, but more bases is always better. But yeah, happy Christmas, everyone. Hope you're having a good one. Maybe you're taking a break from hanging out with your family to watch a Flash versus Bisu best of 3 on this beloved day. Either way, hit that like button. Subscribe to the channel. I'm trying to get 70,000 subs. We're making some good progress. I gotta say, 60 was not that long ago. Bisu, I don't know about this, man. That is a lot of mech. That's a lot of vultures. Yeah, sure, you're cloaked, but where's your stasis? No stasis. Recall's getting researched here. Once the zealots are gone, that's always the cue for the Protoss to leave, but he does have more zealots coming in. Is this just an amazingly timed attack out of Bisu? What is happening right now? Dude, where'd the vultures go? Where are all the tanks? It's suddenly 150 to 106 supply. Is that a timing attack? Maybe a +1 timing attack. GG! Bisu takes Flash down in game number 1 on Circuit Breakers, no less. In fairness, you did notice he waited until it was getting to the point where he would need to take one of these side expansions, which he doesn't want to do. Just goes in for an attack. I must know if that was like a +1 attack timing it. No, it wasn't. It wasn't, because +1 attack's done, like way done, because +2 attack is coming in right now. He did this without any stasis at all. It's +1 attack on the mech. It's +1 attack on the gateway units. Zealots are definitely dying here, but like, not quickly enough that it's a major concern for the Protoss. I don't know. I just feel like I wasn't expecting that to be a battle to be won by Bisu. Especially without any stasis. Into this kind of choky area. That wasn't a surround by any means. But hot didgeridoo. What a win from Bisu in game 1. Not a timing attack. Just like, I'm feeling pretty good. I got, it was probably closer to 180 supply there. Might as well go in, make some trades, roll the dice, see what can happen, and bam. Takes down Flash in game 1. Absolutely bonkers. So that's game 1 of our best of 3. Bisu goes up. Flash fans in disarray right now. What are we supposed to do? And what you're supposed to do is watch game 2. But let's check out a final score here. It's a 12-minute game, so I mean, it's not going to have the biggest numbers, but that's okay. 57,000 points to 47,000 points Bisu. Fair enough. Produce similar numbers of units, but the kill death is a lot better for Bisu. 2 structures raised in favor of Bisu and outspending by 3,300 resources in 12 minutes. That'll get it done a lot. So GG. GG. Well done. Bisu gets the win. Let's see what Game 2 has in store. Don't go anywhere. Game 2's on Neo Sylphid. A great map for Reaver dropping. Bottom left, it's going to be Bisu. Bottom right, going to be Flash. Again, hope you're enjoying this cast. I do love casting StarCraft, and I'm appreciative to everybody who has subscribed to me over the years, man. 60,000 plus subscribers. 63,000 at the time of this cast. Let's see here. Can I see my subscriber number here? Dun, dun. I really hate that when I load up the YouTube app now, it takes me to a short. It's like, I don't want to see your short. Go away. Ooh, 64,000. We hit 64 fairly recently. Awesome. Let's rock. So yeah, thanks everyone for subscribing, hitting that like button. Thank you for supporting me here on YouTube by clicking the join button down below for as little as a couple bucks a month. And patreon.com/Falcon Paladin for as little as $1 a month. There's also PayPal if you don't want to support me on an ongoing monthly basis, which I think more people these days are kind of more comfortable with. There's PayPal available, and it's falconpaladin@gmail.com, my address out there. You just want to send me like $1 and be like, hey, here you go, thanks. I'll never hear from me again. I'll be like, awesome. All right, so what's the play here? I am, you know, generally kind of anticipating Reavers as per usual. Let's see if we can get some language detection here. Nope, not on that. Google does not know what that means, but I think that's just kind of angry eyebrows, or maybe just like wide open eyes in Korean emoji language. Well, technically it's emoticon language, isn't it? Back before we had emojis, boys and girls, there were emoticons, where you simply did a semicolon or a colon or a semicolon and then a closed paren, and bam, people knew that was either a winky face or a smiley face. All of the modern emojis come from the emoticons before them. Back before we had any concept of graphics available when chatting using our phones, our Nokia phones. Couldn't do it. And honestly, I kind of prefer the emoticons. Like whenever I'm in something like, you know, right now Google Messages, the texting app, will just take your emoticon of, you know, winky face and turn it into an actual emoji winky face. And I'm always like, kind of like the old ways. I don't want you to automatically change it, but I can't tell them to stop, I don't think, anyway. I don't know. Anyway, what's up? What are we doing here in this game? Well, it's a factory. And guess what else it is? It's a cybercore. We know how PvT rolls. We understand the mechanisms involved in this matchup. We're here for Flash and Bisu. We're not here necessarily for PvT. I bet a bunch of you are like, I don't generally watch PvT, which, as an aside, you should. Because PvT is a ton of fun, man. I just cast a game last week featuring Barracks and Free, where Free was doing crazy stuff with shuttles that I've just, at a level I don't know if I've ever seen before. So if you skip that Barracks versus Free replay because you don't like PvT, or because, you know, you don't like Barracks and Free, well, check it out. Because it's awesome. Seriously, good game. All right, well, tiny little Dragoon harassment here. Okay, killed a Marine. How you like them apples, boys? Oh, gotta get this health bars up on that probe, too. Harassment. Always good in RTS. If you can harass, you're going to win more games than if you never harass. I can tell you that much. Oh. If you're a Zerg player who never shows up with Lings to your enemy's base early, they just don't respect you. Next time they play you, they're like, I don't have to have any kind of defense against early Lings. This guy never makes them. Kind of a thing with, there's a world champion in StarCraft 2 named Cyril from Finland. By the way, there are non-Koreans who are world champions in StarCraft 2. Go figure on that one. But the point is, he developed this very defensive strategy. StarCraft 2 is developed in such a way that Zerg are given an amazing amount of defensive tools. But Zergs that came over in the early days of StarCraft 2 were used to Brood War, where it's like, let's be aggressive, let's get in there, let's bust these walls, you know, let's go lurker contained. And it just wasn't working out for them. Zergs weren't winning a whole lot. And then Cyril and some others started figuring out, okay, well, we have all these defensive tools, let's use them. So he just developed a playstyle that was defend, 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 defend for all eternity. Every attack you threw at him, he shut it down. You try to drop him? No. Try to hit him at 2 places at once? No. Go after his 4th base and his natural? No. Just shut it all down until he was maxed out, and then he would come kill you. And it was really effective, except for the fact that eventually players started figuring out that he would never Baneling attack you, or like never early Ling attack you, or never go for early lurker stuff against you. And so they just didn't take that threat seriously, and it helped them with their macro, and they started to beat him. So you got to start to slip in, you know, slip in some level of aggression into your play. I think every Brood War player understands this. I think even the macro god action recognizes you got to be aggressive sometimes. Speaking of aggression, it's a 2-base Marine tank push-out from Flash. Uh-oh. What you got to handle this, Bisu? Well, I got some Dragoons. With range, I'm making some DTs, though. This is a Desperation DEFCON 1 attack imminent DT production situation. Spider Mines have not been researched yet, so DTs are going to be good. There's no ComSat, right? So all you got here are Spider Mines to deal with DTs. This timing attack, though, I don't know, man. Good heavens, this is crazy. Okay, so Spider Mines have been researched. There's only one Vulture here, though. Look at this guy go! Whack. Whack. Now, Spider Mines are not officially detectors in the traditional way we think of detectors, okay? They don't provide vision of cloaked units to everybody else on your team. They can see cloaked stuff. See, you'll notice. They can see cloaked stuff, but they can only attack it themselves. They can't tell the Terran army that there's a DT here, but they can kill the DT. See? See what I'm talking about here. So again, it's weird. Another DT made it all the way into the main. Where did you come from, friend? Just walked right in. Right. Well, he's like, you don't have any ComSat stations. You do have Spider Mines, though. Uh-oh. See you later, Dan. Ow. Ow. 2 Spider Mines to kill a DT. Maybe it should be 1. I don't know. 3rd base coming in from Bisu, and that DT play saved his patootie. He was in trouble. Marines and tanks and vultures were here. He had like 5 Dragoons. Woo! It's tough. Super, super tough. Well, what do we got in here? Guess what? DTs. Because of course there are DTs in this shuttle. What other tech does Bisu have right now? Oh, Spider Mines. Oh, got an SCV with a friendly fire DT mine splash. Is he trying to dodge DT Spider Mine attacks with this? He is. I don't think that worked. He took a hit. Yeah, absolutely. It's tough. I don't think I've seen many Protoss players try that. Try a pickup against a Spider Mine attack with your DTs. Oh, that one's stuck behind the Vulture. That's not Vulture. Don't block that. That's not cool. Oh, that was a dodge. Ow. The thing is, it's not going to explode. Maybe. Oh, he did it. He got it to explode without killing him. Oh, then the Goliaths wipe everything out. Ah, you ruined our fun, Goliath friends. All right. Well, whatevs. Whatevs. It's a Stargate coming in, which feels Templar, or we already have a Templar Archives. I'm staring at it. Feels like another Arbiter Tribunal to me. Sub 10 minutes out of Bisu. Vulture's trying to get up to this 3rd base pylon wall, preventing that quite expertly. Another starport, or rather, the second starport of the series is on the way. Scans the main, sees the Arbiter tech, says, yes, okay, I know what's happening here. Man, scan is good. Seriously, if you're like a kind of low-level F rank, E rank, F and E rank Terran player, and you're not using scans because you're just busy doing other stuff, work on using scans. I promise. The scan is one of the most overpowered things in all of StarCraft. It's not the most overpowered. There are other things on that list, okay? But, like, just the ability to see exactly what's happening anywhere on the map in a pretty wide area is awesome. It's so good. Anyway, science facility coming in for damn EMPs. I don't know, maybe we'll be lucky and get some ghosts and some lockdown. Why don't we see ghosts with lockdown? It's because, guess what we have here? Factories. Guess what you can't make at factories? Ghosts. You have to, so, if you want to make enough ghosts to lock down the enemy carriers or whatever, you got to build like 6 barracks first, and then start building ghosts. And it's just, it's too much of an investment at this stage of the game. Terrans are like, we have our factories. We like our factories. They're good enough. And Goliaths are good enough against the carriers. Are we going to see carriers in this game? I don't know. That's the fun. And that's why you're going to see Flash constantly scanning this main for signs of a fleet beacon. Because just because the enemy went arbiters doesn't mean that carriers are not in the future. Vulture's trying to get a run by here. Zealots say, thou shalt not pass. No, it's just a you shall not pass. There is some like Old English in Lord of the Rings, but not in that scene. I think if you wanted to go full Old English, it would be thou shalt not pass, but he says you shall not pass. And it's not even shout, it's shall. So I don't know, kind of a whatever Tolkien is doing there. Old-timey language is old-timey. So look, 4 basing versus 3 basing. Flash looking good. But when does Flash look bad? I've never cast a game where I like, man, Flash, he's not doing so hot right now. I mean, I don't know. He's old now, so definitely he's slowed down because Father Time is undefeated. I think as the saying goes, stasis getting researched. Alright, nice spread here. I like it. Tanks can't be attacked. This isn't high ground, but it does prevent directly running up to those tanks from the ground. So it functions as such, except for the vision aspect of it, which is super weird. See, look, you can totally attack up this. If this was high ground, you couldn't. But whatever we call it, it's a ridge, I guess. There's a ridge protecting this from direct ground assaults. But, you know, siege tanks, ow, can set up down here and fire on bases. The Terrans don't care about it. It's just a Protoss and Zerg concern in particular. We going? I mean, it worked in game 1. Why not go for it in game 2? Just kind of a 4-base, 180 supply attack into an entrenched Terran position. Great stasis. Gonna keep a lot more of these Zealots alive with those Vultures. Oh, yeah, with these Vultures gone. Oh my gosh, is this a 2-0? Did I just put random videos at the end of this so you don't know how long it is? Or is this... I don't know. It's not looking good for Flash, though. His tank count just got reduced. Oh, another group of Zealots are popping up here. Tank dead. The stasis tanks are dead. The unsieged ones are running for their lives, dragging Zealots into Spider Mines, but Spider Mines will hurt them too. Oh! No, but Flash's third base, he's dead! Oh no! I mean, it's not dead, but it's not looking great. But it's 128 to 125 to 25 supply. I mean, it's not the end of the world here. Flash is not quite dead yet. He's still got 62 SCVs. His tank count got reset, but a lot of the army of Bisu wiped out. Oh, now look at this position. It's easy for attacking because these spider mines got killed. I mean, they took Zealots with them, so it was more of a... I don't know if they got killed as much as they were doing some killing and died in the process, which... We need a word for that. I don't know what it is. Anyway, maybe... nope, we're not going there. Alright, 1, 2, 3, 4. 5th base coming in from Bisu. Working on Kadarin Core, which increases Arbiter energy for better stasises per full energy Arbiter. And better recalls, too. Charon boost on the way, not because he expects carriers, but Flash is just like, it's easier to kill these stupid Arbiters if I have range on my Goliaths. That's what they are intended to do. So 158 to 141 supply. Third base didn't die, and not many SCVs died. That's big. That's a really, really big deal. The attack was strong, but anyway. Okay, Bisu's like, well, let me get back up to 160 supply and go in. And then he's like, I don't know if I like this at all. I'm surprised he took this base, because as I mentioned previously, you put tanks here and it can kill the Nexus, and there's not a lot you can do to stop it. It's tough. I've seen more bases on Neo-Sylphid die to tanks being placed right here and killing the base than anything else, I feel like. Okay, so this is where EMP is big, because if you EMP this thing, it can't recall in your face, but nope. Not even close. Oh, or just not. Did he not save up enough energy for recall there? And he died to the turrets before he could get the recall off? That's kind of a big deal. That's a really big deal. There is not a lot of Terran in this base right now. I'm not even sure. Flash had to have noticed that, right? I'm sure Flash saw that come in, and then he's like, oh, thank goodness, it didn't actually recall, huh? I don't know why, but we're going to keep balling. Yeah, Bisu's maxed out at 15 minutes. Are you maxed out against Flash in your 15-minute games? No? Okay. Coming in from the north side into this third base. Is there enough Protoss to actually break this? The answer is not really. Good stasis, though. Pretty halfway decent stasis. Some supply depots are dying. Some SCVs are dying. That Arbiter is going to die to a missile turret if it doesn't move. And it moved with 7 HP remaining. And the base survives again. This is a huge deal that this base is not dead. Bisu working on Storm. Does not seem to be having any interesting carriers today. Fourth base is up from Flash. I think I might have browsed over this, but didn't say the word fourth base, or maybe I did. I don't know. I'm old, man. I got 3 kids. I'm 40. Don't expect my brain to be at full capacity all the time. Anyway, there you go. That's how you get rid of a lot of probes. 63 to 49 probes now. Spider-Mind to slow down the pursuit. And Cloaked Zealot preventing the way in, but they'll get that probe, who's hanging out here for reasons I don't understand. I don't know exactly what that idea was, but hey, probe's dead. No more concerns. Lifts? Okay, yeah, so lifts the science facility to make more room for a factory. Again, good that Bisu's Nexus isn't gone. He's taking another base up top for a 6th base of his own, and Flash is landing a 5th base on a fairly easy base to defend, no matter who you are, really. Boom, boom. Ooh, maybe a denial of landing here. You don't have authorization to land your plane at this airport, Flash. Get out of here. Come back when you have permission. He's like, request emergency landing. I've lost engines 2 and 4. Mayday, mayday. Man, there's a great blog out on medium.com of this dude who analyzes modern day airplane disasters and what happened. There's this amazing one that I'm trying to find a link to where something like really catastrophically terrible happened on a plane that nobody predicted, because that happens sometimes. And they lost the ability to control the like the flaps. So they had engine control. They could go like turn it on and turn it off at different levels, but they couldn't steer. And somehow they landed that thing. And anyway, it's an incredible, incredible story. Meanwhile, Bisu moving in. Sort of. He's like, that's a lot of Terran. That is a maxed out Terran army, friends. With 3-2 upgrades, no less, against my 3-1. Not exactly great. But yeah, one of my favorite things from that write-up is that, number one, the pilots both had a combined, they had a combined 60,000 hours of flight time. It was a ton of flight time. Usually you have one really experienced pilot, and the co-pilot has less numbers, right? But in this case, just 2 incredibly experienced pilots were up there. And what they did could not be replicated. They tried to set up the disaster in flight simulators later on, and several other teams of pilots tried to replicate what they did, but every single time they simulated it, the plane crashed and everybody died. So I don't know how they pull that thing off, but I guess maybe if you're actually in a situation where your life's in danger, you perform at higher, more capable levels than if it's a simulation, right? Anyway, this guy's ready to EMP any sneaky arbiters that try to come on in here. This is a pretty good game, man. Bisu expanding again. Yo. And Flash did manage to get permission to land here after all. So he's, I mean, pretty happily, he's mining on 2 bases. Let me just say that. He's mined out of his first 3. He's mining on 2 at 20 minutes. Bisu technically has a bunch of minerals here at his natural. He's just not using it all. Interestingly enough. Ah, here we go. My gosh. The bloodbath on display. Stasis is here. Good storms. That's going to help a lot. I don't know if there's enough Protoss to get through that. And Bisu says, I don't either. And he backs right out. 150 to 150 supply. It's not like Bisu lost everything. He was able to kill a bunch of tanks too. But this is why you want to keep the tank count low. Because if you don't, Flash is going to show up with, I mean, literally 15, 20 siege tanks. And just sort of kick you in the butt. And then you're like, got to do better at the early game. Yeah, this is bad. Look at this. Look at this positioning. He's like, okay, see? What did I say? Tanks here. Nexus dead. Man, did I call that or did I call that? I've cast TVPs before where Protoss doesn't even take any of these 3 bases. Just doesn't do it. Expands everywhere else on the map. It's like a 50-minute game and they just don't take them because it's gonna die. I mean, look, he was able to get a bunch of resources out of these minerals and this geyser. Actually, he didn't take anything from the geyser, did he? No, he did. Just weird. No, maybe he didn't. They're 15. Yeah, 1,500 gas on these geysers. No. And then, okay, that base dies, and Flash is just kind of rolling, isn't he? Like, all right, 1 base is down. How about 2nd base? I have Lord of the Rings on the mind right now. I don't know why. Flash is scanning for maybe a carrier transition in this desperate situation. Got a recall into the 5th base of Flash, so half of Flash's income is cut here. But temporarily, he's also expanding on the right side. That is very nice for him, too, at the moment. But he's up 199 to 174 supply. He killed another Nexus. This is why Protoss needs more bases than the Terran, because they're going to lose some into games like this. Ooh, this Dragoon. Okay, everybody's dead. Okay, so Flash retakes his 5th. He gets a 6th that he's been rolling with nicely here. Another nice EMP. And it was an EMP. Too many times we see the EMP animation happen, but the command for a recall had already been given. The animation just lagged. So the recall happens anyway, and it's like the most rage-inducing thing for Terrans, especially Artosis. Bisu catching kind of a smaller portion of the Terran army. Going to try to storm it down, Dragoon it down, but so it's okay, I guess. This Arbiter will take down your refinery given enough time. And by that I mean he's going to waste attacks on SCVs as well. Oop. Yeah, this is not looking great. This is a... Oh, he recalls out of here to recall into here. And once again, try to shut this base down. But I don't know. I think other than lifting the command center and evacuating the SCVs, there's not much Flash has to do here to clean this up. He's already got tanks in position. And vultures for the zealots that wander down to try to deal with the tanks. I think he probably has to bring a tank up here to deal with these guys, but that's it. GG! Flash! He holds on to this base. He's pushing top side. And Bisu very consciously chose to take the units that were defending this base to try to wipe this one out, and didn't do it. Not enough to defend the 12 o'clock. And Flash gets the win in game numero 2. Yo. Yeah, that was awesome. That was, poof. It was truly, 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 truly awesome. What a great PVT that was for game number 2. Flash does force the game at number 3. Does a great job expanding, too. I mean, this base was free. This base did go under attack a couple times, and it almost looked like he was going to die on attack to the third base earlier. But, again, kept the command center alive, kept most of the SCVs alive, and was able to remacro out of that. Very nicely done. Like, sometimes Terran just looks unstoppable, man. Sometimes it just seems like you can't do anything, but considering Bisu won game number 1, obviously there are ways to do this. Yes, yes. Yes. 166,000 points, 180,000 points. Flash ahead there, obviously. Outproducing the Protoss, out-killing the Protoss. 10 to 11 buildings raised is kind of nice. And did get outspent by Bisu by about 9,400 resources, but outkilled him by about 50 units. So do the math there, and I think that'll tell you what's going on. All right, so GG, let's go to game number 3. It's going to be a rubber match between these two legends of all time. Hit that like button if you haven't yet. Game number 3, it's the rubber match. Top right, going to be an orange Protoss. It is Bisu, bottom left of this 2-player map. It is Flash. All right, what's the play here, guys? What do you do when your back's against the wall? What do you do when you're 1 loss or 1 win away from winning or losing? Do you pull out the stops? Do you just play standard? Let me know in the comments what you would do here, tied up with Flash or Bisu. I'm kind of curious to see what your ideas are. All right, what's the play? I'm like bouncing with anticipation here. Who is going to come out on top here? Who's going to be the one to get the victory, get the bragging rights over their long-time frenemy? I mean, that's not true. They're friends. I don't think there are any true enemies among Brood War players. I think everybody gets along pretty well. I haven't heard of a lot of drama, seriously. I mean, there's Larva disrespecting people by playing with his feet. That's like as tough as it gets. It's like as mean-spirited as it gets, and that's just kind of playing around, right? It's kind of the thing I like about StarCraft. It's one of the many things I like about StarCraft, but that's high on the list. It's just the player base is awesome. The viewer base can be a little bit toxic for sure. Absolutely. But, the players themselves all seem pretty dang cool. If you're playing Brood War professionally in 2023, you are by default cool, though, I think. Like, no young up-and-comer hotshot's going to be like, you know what I'm going to do? Yeah, I'm going to become a pro at Brood War. Like, I mean, okay, good luck. It's only the hardest video game, the hardest competitive game of all time. Oh my gosh, he did not just Nexus first. Bisu says, I got my back against the wall, and I'm going to Nexus first on a 2-player map. I don't like this. You shouldn't like this either. What are you doing? Dude, it's a 2-player map. Flash is going to come scout this and be like, all right, let me just shut you down. GG. I mean, Flash can't shut this down. Then nobody can, right? Oh, hey, look. There's a gateway coming in. Okay, so it's a double gateway on the follow-up here. Gas is a little bit later. He's going to try to defend any kind of counter-aggression that Flash uses here with Zealots, which they can do a pretty good job preventing a bunker from being produced. Is the S? No, you're not going to build a bunker here. That seems like a bad idea. Is he just going to let it go? No, he's pulling the boys and expanding behind it, too. All right. Yeah, this is how you do it. You pull the boys. You try to build a bunker somewhere. The bunker construction needs to happen eventually. It's usually when the Marines and the boys show up, though. It's really important to keep every one of these Marines alive. Okay, well, the probes have been pulled, too. Yo, I did not expect this in Game 3. Dude, that Marine's gonna get zapped. Gonna get zippity zapped, and he does get zippity zapped. This is a weird place for a bunker. Oh, it's not even in range. Well, his Marines all died. Just kidding, there's another one coming. Hang on, bunker. Finish, bunker. Oh, see what I said about Zealots? Preventing bunkers from finishing. There's a lot of SCVs here. That bunker is finishing, but it's not in range of the Nexus. I don't feel great about it. I don't know that I feel good about... Man, Man, these SCVs are dying, too. Zealot goes down, but I mean, 3 or 4 SCVs died. So, I mean, eventually you can get enough Marines in here to where you can kind of poke out of the bunker and attack stuff. But it's so much simpler if you simply build the bunker in range. Oh, there we go. He's like cannon rushing, except he's bunker rushing it. Okay, there's 3 SCVs remaining. This bunker is going to finish. Remember what I said? Why would you Nexus first on a 2-player map against Flash? Against literally any other Terran on Earth? I'd be like, well, it's Bisu, right? Oh, you killed one of the Marines. Good job. But your Nexus is dead, and this is alive. Aww. Is there a path forward to victory here from Bisu? Can he maybe sneak some DTs out and get a sneaky win? I mean, part of the thing here is economically it's not going as great for the Protoss, or for the Terran, because he's got 5 SCVs hanging out, not doing anything, you know, good money-wise for him. And this Zealot's down here, and Flash has to micro against a Zealot with 2 Marines, and this guy's dead. That was not good micro. Are we still? Oh my gosh, he's trying to save the Nexus. He's busting in here. The probes are getting pulled. I guess this is one way to try to save it. If you're Bisu one way forward, you can't target fire from inside the bunker. Oh, he does. He kills the forward bunker. What a play, dude. He had to pull some SCV or some probes to do it, but he was killing SCV. Look, he's not even waiting for range. He loses a Dragoon to that, but he's like, I just don't want that bunker there at all. And wow. Bisu finds a way forward. It involves sacrificing some probes, but that's a sacrifice he's willing to make. And now Flash is on the back foot. He has to build a bunker now, but defensive this time. Singularity charge just now gets started. That's how crazy a game this has been. We're at 6 minutes. Dude, I would have bet money that Flash was going to win this game. When he got that bunker up and he was attacking the Nexus, I was like, no way. No way. But then he did. There was a way. Ay, caramba. The highest of carambas here. Robotics facility, playing it safe. Factories, playing it safe. You know, there is a universe where Flash decides to make a couple more barracks, get an academy up, and try to bust Bisu before he gets any splash damage out. Which we've seen done before. Man, if you didn't catch that light TVP, I don't know if light versus best, maybe? Maybe snow. It's a really good Protoss, but he goes this crazy Marine tank strategy that's fantastic. That, if you want to see it, let me know. Leave me a comment saying, hey, Falcon, I want to see that light game where he goes bio against Protoss. Don't say, hey, Falcon, I want a link to that thing you talked about in this cast, because I talk about a lot of things in this cast. Be specific with your requests. It helps. Support Bay means Reavers. Reavers means bad times for Flash. It's a pretty wide open main. Good map for Reaver drops 2. Very similar to Neo Sylphid that way. Much older map, though. Bloody Ridge is a much older map than Neo Sylphid. But some of the design principles remain. Third base warping in for Bisu. Stargate coming in here as well, but based on the first couple games, this is just going to be ye old Arbiters again, which is great. I mean, his Arbiters have been doing work. They've been getting value. I mean, a couple times it didn't, I mean, boy. Couple times, you know, that recall didn't go off, or he got sniped before he could get a recall off. It's just, it's tough. It was tough sledding for Arbiters for a couple times there in that game too. And it probably had something to do with why he lost. Getting a big recall off in Flash's main at the moment he tried to, when he just died to turrets, was, that might have been made a big difference here. So tanks on siege, which means Reaver gets a shot off. Okay, that's a great start. Let's go. Let's get it in here. Oh, he lost the Reaver! And that's not gonna do anything. Okay. Great start into kind of immediate fail. That's tough for Bisu, but man, Reaver control is tough. They delay on their attacks sometimes. The Scarabs get lost. It's a total mess. Engineering Bay, because he's like, if they come back with more, which, I don't know. Do you come back with more after that? It's a big ask. Ob sees this move out about the same time that Bisu moves out. And he's like, well, I have two options. Counterattack, or try to deal with this on a defensive situation, and that's what he's doing. Defensive turn. A scout? He's building a scout? Zealot bombing. Easy for taking down tanks. Well, one tank died anyway. That'll count for something. What in the name of all that is there a scout here? Okay. Cool. Cool. What is happening? Why is Bisu making scouts in this game? Well, he is, because there's nothing that can shoot up here. There's no Goliath. There's no Marines. That Marine died. Look at him building turrets, though. He's like, there's going to be something we want to kill with turrets here. Whether it's observers, whether it's arbiters, I don't know. But these two Stargate scouting it. Look at Bisu's like, I really need this turret to not finish. Crap. Splash damage didn't kill the SCV building the turret. And there's another. This is... What? What is happening right now? Bisu. I appreciate it. I really appreciate your chutzpah. He's sending the scout down. I guess you can't really attack this stuff with a turret protecting all this stuff. That's the problem here. Can you attack this SCV without taking hits? I don't know, man. He's doing scout stuff. That scout's not even attacking anything. Get in there. Attack something. Why is this not attacking? Did it kind of just work, though? Sort of. Ah, crap. Vultures got into the net, but a new wave of Dragoons has arrived to save the day. Okay. Vulture down. Good stuff. Great stuff, in fact. Missile turret, so important here. Without that missile turret, this attack just has to go home. Flash knows. He probably scanned. The double Stargate and said, that's something shenanigan-y is happening here. Third base from Flash coming up. He's got the pressure on. He can afford to expand. I don't know that Bisu can break this, though. Scouts are fun. Scouts, their ground attack is not good enough to really help here, and Flash is smart enough to get turrets up, and this is just not happening. You got slow zealots, because we're spending so much gas on scouts. And that's the thing about scouts. It's much less about they're just overall bad. It's that they're too expensive. They are so gas expensive, it's not even reasonable. And that's why we don't have enough... Ow. That's why we don't have enough money to get things like scout speed. And that's a good game. You know? He's like, what is going on? Double Stargate, huh? Well, GG. Flash gets that win. 2-1 against Bisu. In fairness, if you'd sat me down before the game started and told me that Bisu was going to go for a Nexus first into 2-gate Scout, I would have told you, what are you talking about? You're crazy. There are 125 gas apiece and 275 minerals. And 3 supply. Does it seem worth all of that to you, what we saw in this game? No. Absolutely not. Wikipedia article says scouts are one of the least used units in the game, primarily due to its high cost and limited effectiveness. It is slow before it gets the speed upgrade, which costs 200 and 200 on top of the 300, 200 for a fleet beacon, thus almost never attempted, and does little damage to DPS and ground units. It's amazing against air units, but man, Yeah, against carriers, they're not useful without the speed upgrade because carriers can hit and run them. Terrans counter mass scouts with mass Valkyries, since they are one of the few Protoss units with 0 armor. Oh my gosh, and they have 0 armor. So yeah, I mean, anybody that doesn't know, there is this history with scouts where back in the early days of StarCraft, man, before Brood War was out, right? I remember specifically one of my friends, Lucas, he loved StarCraft as much as I did. We're both playing it all the time. We're talking about it at school. And he's like, check this out. There's this mass scout strategy. I don't know where he found it. I don't know if there was a web page that talked about it. There were a few websites out there that talked about Brood War and stats and strategies and stuff. He might have found it out there, but he's like, dude, mass scout, it's unstoppable. It can hit ground, it can hit air, it can fly. And I was like, oh, all right. And yeah, it was. The early version of the scout hit like a truck. It hit way better against ground units, and mass scout was kind of a viable strat. So I think one of the major design philosophies in Brood War for the guys who are making it and designing it was, we don't want one unit to ever be enough to win a game. Like, sure, maybe you're going for a proxy zealot attack or a early pool or something, sure. Proxy racks. You can win with Marine Zealots or Zerglings early. But if we get to the 10, 15, 20-minute mark of the game and all you need to make is this one unit to win, it's bad. It's bad design philosophy. It's bad play experience. I remember in particular Command and Conquer for a minute there, PvP was just who can build this one unit. Who can build more of them? You win. And that was just never entertaining to me. And I think the designers for Brood War knew what they were doing. Anyway, so they nerfed scouts into the ground is what happened. And now they're not good at all. And they never got remotely fixed in any of the balance patches that happened through 2001, 2002 was maybe the last balance patch for Brood War. They were just like, nah, the scout can languish indefinitely. We don't care about it. And as a result, it kind of sucks. So sorry, Toy Cop, if you're watching this, but it kind of does. Anyway, good game by Flash. He just normaled his way through this win, right? He got tanks and vultures and Goliaths into missile turrets and said, yeah, GG. You just sort of lose. Part of the problem here, too, was losing the Reaver from Bisu. It was a beautiful hit here, and then he comes down into the main, unloads. There's a delay on the attack. He waits just too long, and it dies to a siege tank, and that was going to be hard to come back from. But trying to make scouts and hope that Flash messes up? Dunno, man. Anyway, GG. 49,000 points to 55,000 points there. Flash gets the winning, outproduces and outkills and loses fewer units. 2 buildings raised, resources. Bisu outspent Flash by a lot, but you know how much of that is scouts? A lot of that is scouts. Just saying. Okay, well, GG. I'm going to say that again, just for good measure. Good game. Flash gets the win. He's awesome. And that's going to be it for me today. So Merry Christmas again to all who celebrate. Merry Xmas, Happy Holidays, whatever's going on. I hope you enjoyed this. It was a lot of fun to cast. Hope it was a ton of fun to watch too. But that's going to be it for me today. So this has been Falcon Paladin coming at you with yet another edition of StarCraft Brood War Remastered and a best of 3 from Bisu and Flash. Go ahead, hit that like button, hit that subscribe if you like what you saw and what you heard today. You can also catch me on Twitter, Facebook, Patreon, and Twitch, all at /Falcon Paladin. And until next time, as always, thank you so much for watching, and you take care of yourself.